July 13th, nice to have you. Grab a coffee and let's get smarter together. I've been an exchange student once, spending a whole school year at Blue Ridge High School in Greer, South Carolina. I had trouble fitting in, but I'm autistic, so no surprise there. Just that part of the trouble was finding me classes to take. In Germany, we start with a whole range of dedicated science classes in 5th grade already. Mathematics, biology, physics, chemistry, geography, history, the whole shebang. And me being me, I didn't just sit through these classes. I brought the insight of more than half a decade in all these fields with me. And I chosen math and physics for my specialty in my Abitur. Teachers kicked me out of all their classes in Greer because I would be demotivating for their other students. With all my knowledge, being a true Hermione. And this is how I ended up in a course called Oceanography, because it was the science course everyone who had gone through all the other science courses would eventually end up in. The nerd bin, so to say. One day the teacher asked the class what we thought would be the areas of the sea with the most life, or where the most diverse life would happen, and why. I'm not sure what the exact phrasing was, but I should be forgiven, since this class took place in 1993. The correct answer was a strip that would be fairly close to the shore, so that, while out of reach of the worst of the wave activity, enough sunlight could still filter to the ground to sustain plants doing photosynthesis. And as I explained it, I also added that the water should be fairly warm as well. And that's when the discussion ensued that caused me to remember that moment with such clarity. Mainly because I'm autistic and putting embarrassing moments on repeat in our head is part of how we operate. I have a ton of those going back to kindergarten. Anyway, the teacher disagreed with my point about the temperature, insisting that the water needs to be fairly cool. To cut a long story short, we talked about the same temperature. Something just below 20 degrees Celsius or so. Where and when I grew up, this was a water temperature we got at the height of summer. In South Carolina, though, it was the cool pool. I bring this up to make a point about subjectivity. Due to the way our brain generates our model of the world, even quantifiable facts will never only be a number to us. They come with notions attached that are personal to us. This goes back to Helen the monkey and the discovery of blindsight, but also to the work of Dr. George Lakoff. For a perception, any perception, to rise to the level of consciousness, the data must cross the boundary we have drawn to create ourselves and become a part of us, of ourselves. And that happens by attaching it to an already existing frame. But that means the whole frame will come up with a perception, a frame no other person has in exactly the same way. This means that even our most objective will always be subjective. And that's the basic idea that quantum physics captured when she put a wrecking ball to the artificial distinction between objectivity and subjectivity drawn by Descartes. Do objective truths exist? Yes, in the physical universe. But as soon as any one of us thinks of them, they are not the objective truth anymore. The thinker is the thought, and the thought is the thinker. Putting the objectivity back into the thought thinker requires finding the overlapping areas of a plethora of thought thinkers. Finding the lowest energy state while all are still at an equilibrium. Cooperation in exploration. Explore, also known as think. Make a habit out of thinking. Let's turn thinking into the norm again. Like, comment, share, and follow lest you miss a single opportunity to improve yourself and society. Once you do, we'll meet again at the coffee pot.